Hi there, my name is Scott McDonald. I'm a former Cirque du Soleil trampolinist, and today I'm going to teach you how to do a back three-quarter, also known as a lazy back, on trampoline. Back three-quarters are a major milestone skill. They're one of the first tricks most people learn that lands on their stomach, they're the most commonly used setup for Codies, and they also serve as the foundation for countless flips to front drop that can then be applied to other disciplines such as high bar. As with all tricks that land in a front drop, any bare skin on your knees and elbows can get burnt by the trampoline, but this can be easily mitigated by wearing long pants and sleeves. Now, a back three-quarter is exactly what it sounds like, three-quarters of a backflip, which means it takes off from your feet and lands in a front drop. With that in mind, it should be no surprise that before learning these, you should be extremely comfortable with backflips and front drops. Besides those, to speed up the learning process and make it much safer, you should also be comfortable with pullovers and trampoline and doggy drops to all fours. Now, to do a back three-quarter, start by bouncing on your feet, and when you're ready to go, take off with your arms up by your ears and set into an extra slow, perhaps even uncomfortably slow, patient backflip that goes straight up and down. As your body reaches roughly horizontal, bring the arms in to join your torso and keep them there until right before the landing, then open and land on your stomach, making sure to stay in a hollow position, keeping your core muscles braced and your feet elevated throughout the landing. Return to your feet to complete the trick. Now, just like when people first learn to backflip, when learning a back three-quarter, it's extremely common for beginners to get scared, rush their takeoff, and throw their arms and head back in a misguided attempt to see the trampoline early. This panicked way of taking off also puts you into a severe arch, destroys any height that you had built, makes you flip too quickly and too early, and can also make you buckle your legs, all of which can also cause you to gainer forwards or travel excessively far backwards. As you might imagine, none of those are good things, and unfortunately all of these potential issues put you at severe risk of either landing hips first or throat first, both of which can seriously injure your back. With that in mind, if you're in midair and you feel like you're going to land in a dangerous way, the safest ways to bail out are to either do a late half twist and land on your back or side, to pull an aggressive tuck and accelerate the flip so you can land on your feet, or to try to land with your weight as evenly distributed as possible on all fours in a doggy drop. If you're not sure whether you're rushing or not, a very simple test is to pay attention to what you can see. If you take off and immediately see the bed, you are rushing and need to be more patient. Whereas if you can see in front of yourself on the way up and only see the trampoline after you turn over, life is good. Alright, now that you know how back three-quarters work, let's break them down and do a few simple drills. I recommend starting by familiarizing yourself with the feeling of landing in a front drop from an inverted position by kicking up into a handstand on a thick mat and dropping to your stomach. Just like you would in a front drop on the trampoline, you want to stay slightly hollow, brace your core muscles for impact, and land with your feet elevated instead of arching, going loose, or kicking the mat. If you can already safely and comfortably do handstand bouncing on trampoline, you can also try this drill on the bed, but that's completely optional because handstand bouncing is kind of its own unique skill set. Either way, the next drill is on the trampoline, because over here you're going to do a very low-powered pullover from standing, paying attention to how fast you're rotating and taking note of the moment when you first see the bed. Awareness of both of these things is important because the next step is to slightly under-rotate and land on your hands and knees simultaneously. This can feel very unnatural at first, and it may take some experimentation to find the correct feeling, speed, and timing. When doing this, people often get flustered and do too much by piking and folding over themselves while still on their backs, or by leaving their legs too far behind, and this makes them either rotate too much or not enough, so please be patient with your takeoff and drill for this as long as it takes to find the correct placement. As you get comfortable with the timing, begin to add a little bit of height. There's an inverse relationship between height and flip speed, so as you add height you have to flip proportionately slower, so I highly recommend asking a friend to throw a mat for you. Once this feels easy, do everything exactly the same, but keep your limbs out of the way and land in a front drop, once again focusing on keeping your feet up once things feel safe and consistent. Next, you're going to do a very low backflip on the trampoline to your hands and knees. To keep everything safe, please ask a friend like Jake here to throw a mat for you, and remember that even though it's going to be low, you should still do your best to stay tight and set into the flip patiently. When this drill feels 100% consistent, it's time to move on to the big one. Just like in the pullover version, you want to rotate the exact same amount at the exact same speed, but once again, this time you're going to land in a front drop. Please train using a throw mat until this feels easy, and make sure you're keeping your core muscles engaged, bending your knees, and keeping your feet up. I know I keep repeating this seemingly minor detail, but that's because staying tight and keeping your feet up will be extremely important for your future progression and safety, specifically when comboing into tricks like Cody's. As you can see, going loose or letting your feet kick the bed will stop your backward rotation, and that doesn't exactly end well. All hypothetical negative situations aside, when you can consistently land well and feel both physically and mentally ready, remove the mat and enjoy your shiny new back 3/4. On that note, I'm going to wrap things up, but I hope this video gave you everything you need to learn back 3/4. If you have any questions or requests for future tutorials, just let me know in the comments below. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. If you're interested in coaching or workshops, you can always message me on Instagram at ScottAMcDonald. And until next time, good luck and happy training.